The Arizona Supreme Court ruling that DNA evidence can now be used in a high-profile Scottsdale murder case, even after they found Scottsdale police violated the suspect's rights.
So this fighting in court is all over Allison Feldman's murder at her Scottsdale home back in 2015. It made headlines for years, remained unsolved. The I-Team's Erica Stapleton covering this story and this DNA controversy. So what do we have here, Erica?
Well, Troy Caribe, I spoke with Allison's father just this afternoon, and of course, it's been tough. It's been almost 10 years since her murder, as you said, Troy, years in the making here. But this ruling for them is another step closer to justice. A step forward for Allison Feldman's family.
I was relieved.
After Arizona's Supreme Court ruled controversial DNA evidence can be used at the trial of Allison's accused killer, her father, Harley Feldman.
I had a little trepidation there, but I felt really good when it came down.
This all goes back to February 2015, when 31-year-old Allison Feldman was murdered in her Scottsdale home. There were no arrests until 2018, when Scottsdale police announced with DPS they got their guy using familial DNA, their suspect, Ian Mitchum.
We are 100% confident we have the right suspect.
New technology at the time matched DNA found at the scene with one of Mitchum's brothers who was already in prison. Then, Scottsdale police used Ian Mitchum's blood sample from a 2015 DUI to connect the crime scene DNA to Mitchum. But in 2022, when the case was about to go to trial, Mitchum's defense team filed to throw out the DNA evidence, saying Scottsdale police violated Mitchum's Fourth Amendment rights by using the old blood sample from a different case, a sample that should have been destroyed years earlier. The trial court judge agreed and tossed the state's key evidence. But an appeals court overturned that decision. And earlier this year, the case went to Arizona's Supreme Court. On Tuesday, the state's highest court unanimously found that Scottsdale police violated Ian Mitchum's Fourth Amendment rights, but that the trial court still erred in throwing out the DNA evidence. The Supreme Court found that the discovery of Mitchum's DNA was inevitable, as Mitchum was convicted for other crimes in 2022 and would have had to submit his DNA to the state.
Scottsdale police made one mistake in using the DNA when they should have asked for permission. In retrospect, at the time they thought they were doing the right thing, and I don't hold that against them.
But the fight may not be over just yet. Mitchum's attorney told me, in part over email, that he and his team are working with Mr. Mitchum to review his options and anticipate filing a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court.
You mentioned that this is a precedent-setting case. What do you think that says about the legacy of your daughter?
Even though we lost her, she's leaving something on this earth.
Scottsdale police did not comment on the court's findings that they violated Ian Mitchum's Fourth Amendment rights, but told me they were, quote, pleased the case would still be going to trial. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office, who is prosecuting the murder case, also had no comment because the case is still open. There's a hearing for this case scheduled in trial court next month. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
Yeah, and it's so upsetting because this was a young woman who was just starting out her life. She just bought her very first home. I mean, do we know anything at this point about a motive behind why this killing even happened?
You know, Troy, no. As far as I know, there's no connection between Ian Mitchum and Allison Feldman. It's something that's confused her family, but we also don't know what investigators may have up their sleeve. We're waiting for that trial to really see maybe what happened here and what sort of defenses that could be used. So perhaps that will shed some more light, but obviously it's taken years to get to this point. So hopefully for the Feldman family, I know they really want to see this move forward. So we'll be watching this. I
really feel for her entire family in this case. Erica, thank you so much. Of course, we'll be following this going forward. We have some new developments.